Imagine that being on a...
Hi!
Hi! Well, I am Stephanie Hart. This is
Richard.
from Elk Grove, California. And these are our 3 electric vehicles. We have a Mitsubishi i-MiEV, a Chevrolet Bolt, and a Tesla Model X. Let me go into each one?
Yeah.
All right, the i-MiEV is our first baby. We got this in 2015. It is a 2012 Mitsubishi i-MiEV, one of the early electric vehicles. It has a pretty low range, about 45 highway, can get up to 60, 75 city. Rich can probably do better than that. He's the light foot of the family, so he's really great at that hypermiling, getting as much range out of a car as possible. But yeah, it's a 4-seater. There's not a seat in the middle and the back. And it's just a great little commuter car. That's mostly what we got it for. I had about a 20-mile commute every day, and I had free charging at work, so I would take it to work every day, and it was a great little starter car.
And it does have fast charging as well.
Oh, yeah.
Chidemo fast charging.
This is the SE updated model. It's got the Chidemo DC fast connection along with the J1772 level 2 plug.
So you can't go super long road trips, but we did drive it from San Jose up here when we moved from Campbell up here. So it will do 150 mile trips with the Chidemo chargers in between.
And, but it's been a great little workhorse car for us. We hope to pass it on to our daughter maybe when she turns 16. So we're trying to keep it in really good condition, drive it, a little bit every now and then so that we can keep the battery fresh, but trying to keep the miles off it. But we say that this is a great car to give teenagers because they can't go very far. And really, they can't go all that fast in a little starter car like this. So it's a really good car for those first drivers. Yeah. And it served us well. But then we wanted to, when we moved to California, we wanted to graduate to something a little more robust, had a little bit longer range. Although it's still peppy, just like in any electric car. It's got that instant torque. You can still take off and beat out most other cars at the stoplight when it turns green. So our Chevy Bolt, this is one that we were actually on the wait list when it was first coming out. We put ourselves on the wait list October 2016, and we're able to get it January 2017. And about 239 miles is the EPA, right? And we've taken this on many road trips. If you want to say some of the road trips that we've been on.
Yeah, we've taken it on. I think our first really big road trip was driving it to Phoenix and back from here. So that's around 850 miles each way. And then our biggest road trip so far is one we just took a couple of months ago. It was about 4,200 miles. So we did it over about an 11-day span, and we drove from California, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Utah, Nevada, and then back here to California. And we did that with our 2 kids and our dog in the back. And we did really well. We're averaging that 300 or 400 miles a day driving with it. It's actually a much better road trip car than I think most people realize. And Electrify America's done an amazing job with putting in the fast chargers, pretty much everywhere. So there's really nowhere you can't drive with this. The EPA is 239. I've gotten it up to around 320 hypermiling on the highways. So it's following semis and not doing more than 62, 63 miles an hour. It's a good little road trip car.
It's the SAE combo connector on this. Tops out at about 50 kilowatts that it can take in. So that's, an hour and a half to go from completely empty to mostly full. But we can usually get away with not. Usually this is the car that we can pull in somewhere, go inside, have the kids use the restroom, grab a snack, come back, and we're about ready to go. So that's what we love about it.
And that's kind of a big difference between the Bolt and the i-MiEV as well. As the i-MiEV has the Chidemo technology and the Bolt has SAE combo technology. So they're 2 different fast chargers you can go to. And we take our road trips, we typically use the PlugShare app, and it'll actually show us, and we can specify which vehicle we're driving. It'll show only the SAE combo or only the Chidemo chargers, and then we can go and map that out and then stop at those chargers along the way. Yeah, so one of the things that was an amazing feature about the Bolt when we bought it is that it had broadcasting Wi-Fi in it, so it has its own built-in hotspot. For us having kids, they can stream movies in the back, and then also for my wife, when she's doing her business, she can work on our computer while I'm driving, working from the Wi-Fi on the Bolt. It's really convenient. For the Model X, it doesn't have a broadcasting Wi-Fi. It's really designed to have it. It has its own internet browser. It has its own internet all built into it. It has LTE that it can do really everything. It's really designed to do everything from the car itself. The car itself is really a computer, but it can sometimes be frustrating not having a broadcasting Wi-Fi because when my wife brings out her computer and she wants to work, she can't really go onto the internet browser on the car
I
and
have
do
to
that
use
work.
my mobile hotspot on my phone, and my phone's not the
We've had to
greatest.
increase mobile data plans and things, whereas that's a really
That's something else about this. Unlimited data, $20 a month. Because when we bought it that year, they had a promotion. I don't think that they extended that after that year, but we got grandfathered in.
So it's really nice having the built-in Wi-Fi, or if my kids have phones in the back or anything, they stream movies. That built-in Wi-Fi is still probably an amazing feature I like about this over the Model X.
You guys want to tell me what's your favorite part about this car?
Everything.
Yeah, it's nice if we take our dog on road trips and things because we can put it in the dog mode and keep her cool, or if we ever need to entertain the kids for a minute, we're sitting at a charger or something.
And then this one is our Tesla Model X. It's a 90D. It's got the dual motors. And we decided to get this guy because we needed a car that had more capacity to it, both seating. This one is a 6-seater. So that when we have family come over, we can actually go places all in one car. So the great thing about the Teslas is they're great for kids. They call it the spaceship because it's got the Falcon Wing doors that we can demonstrate here in a minute. And then it's got just a ton of glass. This whole windshield goes all the way back, so you can look up at the stars and the weather, which is great. Very excited to drive this through a lot of those national parks that we've been through before because the scenery is going to be 10 times more amazing.
So these are the Falcon Wing doors on the Model X. I really love them. They are, as you can see, it makes it really easy to get in and out of the car, both the very back seat as well as these middle seats. You can see the back seats are actually down right now, and that's so my wife can actually put her business stuff back there. So it's really nice, her storing her business stuff back there, or if the dog wants to be back there while the kids are here in the middle seat. And then you'll also notice right now with the doors, they're not actually all the way up right now. And they're like that because of where this tree is. And that's actually a really cool safety feature of these doors. If they detect anything nearby, they'll automatically stop. So it's nice for if my kids are close to the door, around the corner, or anything else, like it's going to detect them and stop. So I really appreciate that safety feature. The Tesla has an electric motor on each axle, and then it has all the electronics in the middle. So it actually allows you to have a frunk up there because of that, as opposed to the Bolt. That's actually kind of nice for having the extra space in the back and having the extra space in the front.
Along with all the other cargo space, it's got that false bottom in the back, just like the Bolt does too. But it's much deeper on this one, so able to fit just a ton of stuff in there. It's great when we're able to fold down the back seats because the dog gets this giant platform all to herself to chill out in. It doesn't have to hang out with the kids if she doesn't want to, whereas with the Bolt, she fits back there nicely, but she is just barely within kicking distance. So, anything you want to say about the Tesla?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't taken the Tesla on any long road trips yet because we've only had for just a couple of months so far. It's our latest upgrade, but it's something we definitely look forward to taking it on here very soon to definitely test out that Tesla supercharger network as well. I think people sometimes don't think of the price of electricity sometimes. The superchargers tend to be around 28 to 29 cents per kilowatt, whereas this last road trip that we took in the Bolt, that 4,000-mile road trip, we averaged 17 cents a kilowatt. So that the difference over 4,000 miles comes out to around $250. So it's more expensive potentially to drive the Model X on road trips.
I don't know if that's true because we did a lot of free level 2 stations that we would be able to utilize with this as well. And a lot of plugging in at hotels. Although the difficult thing in plugging in at hotels, almost any hotel you call ahead, preferably before you make your reservation, and you ask them, is there anywhere for me to plug in, even if you don't have a charging station per se? Is there an outdoor plug where I can plug in? A lot of them have gotten that question by now, so they know. Some of them haven't. We got to do some education as well as we're out. But we try to pick the ones where they're pretty high likelihood where at least we be able to plug in overnight, recoup a good chunk of our charge, and But with this having a nearly 300-mile range, it means that we really are only getting a very tiny percent of our charge back on that level 1. A lot of the charge point stations and Electrify America stations, the EVgo stations, all have both the other 2 main plug types on them, the Chademo and the SE combo. So having both those plug types on the same station does make it fairly easy. We haven't had a whole lot of issue. It's kind of going to be a whole new adventure with the Tesla. This is intended to be a car that's going to get driven all over the country. We actually hope to visit all 30 ballparks like we did in our gasoline car in 2012. But we want to do it all electric this time around, and hopefully in a year or two. And so if we'd had free supercharging, that'd be huge. That'd be absolutely huge. So they called Tesla. They got what they thought was a confirmation that this had free supercharging, and we got it here, got it registered. Turns out it didn't. So that was quite the kick. But that's been really the only issue with it thus far. I mean, we've only had it 2 months. We might be discovering things about it. We do know that they spent a lot of money on replacing a few parts in it before we bought it, including the they had heard that the monitor in there, the touchscreen, could sometimes have issues on this particular model, and so they purposely got it upgraded.
And I can't say enough amazing things about the Bolt as well, because it has almost 80,000 miles on it. It's been to 10 different states, and it has not a peep of any issues at all over those 80,000 miles. It's been a really amazing, great car for us and for our kids.
Yeah, it's the family workhorse car by far.